Se ne va, la capolista se ne va. Come on, guys! 11 wins in a row, man. What a performance once again. These guys just keep going on and on. Just feel like almost invincible. Like Antonio Conte is making us like feel invincible. Like shouts out to Pop Smoke, but really, you just can't see this Inter team. Even when Cagliari were on us, you just can't see this team losing. And obviously now this live stream, we're going to go through the match together. I missed the second half. I was playing football again at the same time. The timing is getting so bad, but I just needed to get fitter after this long lockdown. But I rewatched the second half, or I watched the second half again on the replay. What a performance, man. I mean, not as in like, a great performance, but just a gritty win, just a 1-0 dirty win, just needed. And Matty Darmzz, put some respect on his name. And yeah, as Noah says, he is our savior. He's been repping Matty Darmzz this whole season, and quite rightly, man. We talked about him last week when he had to play left centre back against Sassuolo, and he did a great job. Today, started off at right wing back, finished the game at left wing back, and then scored the goal. That full back to full back, or that wing back to wing back connection with Achraf Hakimi coming on. Hakimi has been, bang out of form. We've been talking about Hakimi last few weeks, especially on my channel. I've been talking about it since probably after the Roma match. I've not really seen him in good form, just missing, bad choices in the last decision making. But today came on that 1-2 with Lukaku, and perfect, cross to Darmian on that far post, that wing back to wing back connection. So good to see. And then Darmian, man, what underrated baller. This guy, if we do a cost per, his actual cost was like 1.5 or 2.5 million plus his wages, like you average it out to the amount of games he's played this season, like he might be the best signing in Serie A this season in terms of cost per game, or cost per his actual performance. What an underrated signing, what underrated baller. When we come to the end of the season, this guy is going to be up there in terms of signing of the season. He wasn't a flashy signing. People talk about no one turned up. When we signed him, his medicals, people usually turn up to the medicals, but no one was outside the facility waiting for Darmian. So, it was a very, Inter fans weren't, most of the fan base wasn't very excited about the full of his signing. I wasn't particularly excited, but I've always said, if Antonio Conte wants a guy, just give it to him. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you bring Giaccherini out of retirement. I don't care if it's Parolo, anyone that, Pelle, Eder. If Antonio Conte asks for him, and even if I don't like him, just get this man, whatever man he needs, because he's going to do magic with him. And Matteo Darmian is absolutely, the work Antonio Conte has done with him is magic, because this guy comes in and is always, a good performance. And I'm going to start by giving him. I know usually we talk through the players and go through one by one, but we have to give Matteo Darmian FC. We just have to give him the man of the match straight away, because one goal in between the two teams, and he's the one who scored the goal. And defensively he was solid. There wasn't much defensively to do. The first half he wasn't great in general. He wasn't that good, to be honest. Like his general play wasn't that great. He had a few bad touches. He had some situations he could have done better, but he got the most important goal, and then shut it down on that left hand side. Yeah, Matteo Darmian, definitely my man of the match. I don't know if you guys agree. I can see some people. Tram, I think you tried to join my live stream. You guys go, if you're gonna go to the top, I've left the link. If you want to join my live stream, any of you guys are welcome to join in and have a little chat. Stefan de Vrij, man of the match according to Tram. He's up there definitely. One of the defenders. Once again another clean sheet. De Vrij, Bastoni. I think they were really. They could have been. If it finished 0-0, I think one of De Vrij or Bastoni would have got my man of the match for sure. They were solid, especially De Vrij. Pavoletti is not an easy guy. He's not an easy guy to handle. He's a proper handful, proper old school. Big centre forward striker. He's going to back into you. He's going to elbow you. He's going to win a lot of headers. You just have to accept that you're going to lose a lot of headers to him, because he's just too big for you. But De Vrij, Bastoni, Skriniar, they all did well. I think Skriniar was a little bit less better than the other guys, but we'll get to that. Oh yeah, of course. starting off when the lineups came out, man, I was so excited. This is the most technical midfield that Antonio Conte has put out since his time at Inter. You know, Brozovic, Eriksen, Sainzy. Wow, like, you know, it was exciting, but unfortunately, it probably wasn't the greatest match to have it because Cagliari were 11 man deep, you know, defending back in their defense. You know, they weren't really interested in trying to press up and leave any spaces, so there wasn't actually much space for Eriksen, Sainzy, and Brozovic to really combine much. And obviously, Sainzy has been, you know, pretty much, you know, his season has been stop-start the whole year, so he's quite rusty in this Inter team. The understanding between him, Eriksen, Brozovic wasn't quite there. You know, the wing backs as well. You know, Darmian was playing out on the right, and him and Sainzy, I don't think they've ever played together in this team yet. So it was a decent outing, but just looking at it on the team sheet, it's so good to see, isn't it? Like, just so good. Gagliardini disaster class at the end. Oh my days. Did you guys see that nutmeg from Zappa, who's Inter youth product? Got him on the floor. That was embarrassing. That's not what you want to see by a guy who you're bringing on to like give you defensive solidity, and you're getting megged by a former Inter youth player who's not even particularly, you know, he's not a massive baller exactly. And yeah, they created quite a dangerous chance from that. So yeah, not great impact by Gagliardini in terms of that defensive side of things. And we saw Danilo D'Ambrosio, man, fresh fade. You know, you saw the fresh trim came on the left wing, but you know, he's similar. As I said, Darmian is the kind of new D'Ambrosio. You just put him anywhere, and they'll give you a solid performance. Now Brook can finally leave since we have an improved. I want to say he's an improved version. It's just that, you know, D'Ambrosio over the years, he's had a few injuries. He's definitely slowed down a little bit. You can see he doesn't have that spring in his step, especially when there's like pacey wingers against him. We saw Rafael Leao at the start of the season had him completely flamed, but you know, D'Ambrosio is more of a centre back now. He's a good backup to have as a centre back. And apparently he's going to renew his contract for one more year. So D'Ambrosio, DD33, is not going anywhere. So yeah, don't start thinking that he's going to leave, because he's close to signing a new contract, apparently, according to reports. So, and I'm happy about that. You know, you need players like D'Ambrosio, Darmian in this team. And those guys, D'Ambrosio, man, similarly to Handanovic and Ranocchia, these guys have been here for so many years. They've been through the darkest years, you know, especially Ranocchia and Handanovic. You know, they've seen Inter through the real worst, and you know, D'Ambrosio as well. So these guys deserve some credit. They deserve, you know, some trophies, obviously, for their loyalty, for their performances over the years. Especially Ranocchia and D'Ambrosio obviously are not as particularly important to this team as they were. Well, Ranocchia probably hasn't really been since Antonio Conte, apart from his sub roles. But D'Ambrosio this year really, you know, he's become, you know, his injuries, COVID and stuff, is just not been a great season for D'Ambrosio. But still, I think he still got like 3 goals this season, or 2 or 3 goals. So that's the thing with D'Ambrosio. This guy is just that far post run king. But I'm happy that, you know, he's back fit and he's able to, you know, contribute, you know, to Inter securing this historic 11-year awaited Scudetto. Who else we got in the house? Let's have a look. We got Snudges, obviously, king of Inter Twitter, signing in. What's up, bro? La capolista se ne va. De Vrij, man of the match. Ooh, another call for De Vrij, yeah. I wouldn't argue with you guys if you say De Vrij. I'm just giving it to Darmian because of the winning goal, but in terms of his performance, probably wasn't the greatest. So probably, you know, if we go, let's say if we want to give it to someone that's not the obvious choice just because of the winning goal, let's give it to De Vrij. Darmian on the left, D'Ambrosio on the right. Man, I love the two guys, but I would never start those two as wing backs, man. That would be unless you're trying to defend the lead, like that's just complete terrorism. You know, you're not going to get much attacking out of that kind of combination. Since we didn't concede, we basically have the best defense in the league now. Ooh, is that true? Let me just get the stat up. Let me double check that, because I know Juventus had the best. They had the best defense for a while, but we've been trying to catch up. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen. So it looks like you are right. We're joint first now. We're You see there, let me zoom in for you guys. So Inter have 27 goals conceded, and so have Juventus, who did they just play? I guess they just played at Genoa. I think that finished 3-1. So their 1 goal conceded means they're saying that, yeah, I've been saying since the start of the season, I want to see Inter finish with the best defense of the league. And like last year, we finished with the best defense of the league. But if you're winning the Scudetto, I want us to have that as well over them. So good, and 69 goals as well. Don't be childish just because it's 69, but yeah, 8 more goals than Juventus. Really, really great stats. Only Atalanta close to us. They're going to play. Is it later today or tomorrow? They're playing, so they're probably going to overtake us in terms of goals. Atalanta average a lot of goals in their matches, so I don't see, even if they do concede, I don't see them scoring less than 2 goals. But it's fine. I'm sure we can catch up with them by the end of the season. Look at Milan, man. They're so far behind in terms of goals scored. So it just shows, all the stuff about boring play and whatever. Look how far and ahead Inter are compared to the rest, apart from Atalanta. So yeah, if we get best defense in the league as well, that's just like the little cherry on top, getting best attack, best defense. Because Juventus actually last year, they didn't even have the best defense or the best attack last year, and they still won the Scudetto, which was, I don't think that happens very often. You either have to have one of the two when you win a Scudetto. Usually you have the best defense if you win the Scudetto in Italy. But yeah, Juventus was quite an anomaly last year where they didn't have neither the best attack nor the best defense. Yeah, I want to, and it's meaningless stats at the end of the day. If you win the Scudetto, you won the Scudetto. But I like to have that, to say that we have got the best defense. It's just a little, extra bragging right. But yeah, let's get into the match ratings. It's not just saying Sanchez making the tricky plays. The second half, we were just making the easy stuff too complicated. Yeah. Let's start with that. So Matteo Darmian, my man of the match, or, as you guys said, Stefan de Vrij. We can start off with Sanchez as being the flop of the match. Yeah, I called for him to start because I felt like he deserves to start. I thought, Lautaro deserves a little rest. And yeah, I've always felt like even though him and Lukaku seem to get on along off the pitch really well, I've never rated their combination or their duo together a lot. Even at Man United, they never really seem to gel that much. They don't seem to be on the same wavelength for a lot of the times. There was that 1-2 that Sanchez tried before he got subbed in the second half. Sanchez, where Lukaku was on the counter and he tried to give it to Sanchez, and Sanchez thought he was going to give it a 1-2, and Lukaku was back there. And then there was one where Sanchez put a through ball to Lukaku, and he didn't even really try to get there, and Sanchez was unimpressed. They just don't seem to have that. Lautaro and Lukaku seem to be a lot more, on the same wavelength. They seem to have similar ideas of what they're going to do. Whereas I think Sanchez sometimes tries, as Sanchez says, a bit overcomplicated. Some of the balls he tries are like the difficulty level of some of those balls are very high. So the chance, the probability that it pops off is very low. So sometimes it needs to play a bit quicker, simpler. So I agree. I think Sanchez was my flop of the match, to be honest. I'll give him a not 5 out of 10, maybe it's too low. 5.5 for Sanchez, Alexis. And then we can move on to the goalkeeper. And goalkeepers is none of which had nothing to do apart from that one. They only had one shot on target the whole match, Cagliari, and obviously it was Nainggolan, man. Nainggolan, this guy, we knew it would be the one. It would be the one day where he would turn sober. He didn't drink for the whole week just to get ready for Inter. He was very sober, very ready. You could see he was fired up. He was taking shots whenever there was space. He would just take a shot. That right foot, as I said in the match preview, that right foot will always remain a top quality right foot. Today he was playing more of a regista role, and you could see his passing was good, but in general, it was. You can see the guy is not the same player he was a few years ago anymore. He's not the same Radja Nainggolan. But it was good to see. I saw at the end he swapped the shirts with Lukaku. Both Belgian teammates. I see. They're supposed to be quite good friends off the pitch. I see them interacting quite a lot on Instagram with each other. So yeah, it's good. He hopefully doesn't hold any negative energy towards Inter. He's probably, I believe, he still will get a Scudetto winners medal because he played like 2 or 3 matches for us, 2 or 3 appearances this season for Inter. So technically, I think he still gets a Serie A medal. So he'll end up, that will be his first trophy of his career, technically, but not really, because at the same, I don't know if there's any player in the world who got relegated, but at the same time won the Scudetto as well. We'll have to double check. I'll have to check that, because yeah, you saw that Cagliari team. That Cagliari team should be nowhere near where they are. Stacked. They should be comfortably a mid-table team. Even in the second half, they brought on, Quadvo Zamora from the dead, played in midfield. They had Nahitan Nandes, Godin, Rugani at the back. Pavoletti, João Pedro. These guys are all these good level ballers, and off the bench they still brought on good quality. Giovanni Simeone. This team is a good team. This is all on Di Francesco, man. What awful appointment it was, Di Francesco. And they even extended his contract at one point, which was so weird, and then they fired him a few weeks later. Such a bad case of mismanagement. And I think Cagliari might be in trouble for a while if they go down, because they've, some of the wages they're paying the likes of Nainggolan, Godin, these are big, heavy wages on their bill. So they're probably going to make quite a hefty losses if they go down. And they're going to be a few players up there up for grabs, some interesting players, and that should stay in the Serie A in their team. That Razvan Marin, who played alongside Duncan and Nainggolan in midfield today, he looks like a good player. He definitely deserves to stay in Serie A. João Pedro, definitely, he's been the top scoring Brazilian for 2 seasons in a row now in Europe. So that guy definitely deserves. Pavoletti, Godin, maybe, probably maybe needs to go back to Spain or somewhere, a little bit more comfortable. He's definitely getting towards the end of his career. Rugani, he's not a great defender, but he's still a Serie A level player. Granio, that team, Duncan, Nahitan Nandes, especially, someone needs to save that guy. Giovanni Simeone, that team is going to get dismantled if they go down, and I'm interested to see who gets some of those guys. And seeing some love, some people are giving some love to Vicario. We know, guys, like when an opposition keeper, even if it's his first ever appearance in Serie A, this guy, I think he played in Serie C or Serie B last year, but he balled out against us. We'll always know that's the one rule in life, whereas ex-Inter players ball out against us and goalkeepers turn into prime Manuel Neuer, Lev Yashin, Buffon against us, because Vicario was the same. Eriksson tried his best today to get his first goal for Inter this season in the league, and Vicario, fair play to him. Some good saves from him. I have to give it to him. Yeah, he wasn't that good. I wouldn't exaggerate, as Schefter says. It was a decent save. By the end of the day, he's still, I was with these keepers, you never know, because they haven't played for so long. You can test them, from range, and they can misjudge the pass. And his technique was good as well. He was parrying things away rather than into players, back into play. So he was good. And there was that Sensi shot as well that he saved. He made some decent saves at the end, but yeah, nothing outstanding. I don't want to see any one of you guys in there saying that we should buy him or anything, because any keeper can have some sort of decent performance like that after a while. Who remembers that Dambro meme that's knocking on doors? Yeah, D'Ambrosio has been killing every single right back or wing back that we've been signing over the years. But yeah, Hakimi is the one to finally break the curse, and Darmian, to be fair. Hakimi today chose the correct option for the goal. Yeah, as we were saying, Calvin, I've been saying for a while on this channel, and I think everyone's noticed it for a few weeks, if not months now, since the Roma match. He's been on a downward trajectory in terms of form and bad decision making, but today he was good. Great decision, great cross to Darmian. Dambro and Ranocchia should both get the contract extended. So Dambro is getting it extended, but Ranocchia, it seems like he's on his way out. I think, guys, he's been here for like 9 years now. You have to move on. He's become a solid option. But I think with the Conte system is you can bring any decent player as the backup now, and he will do good. Ranocchia is good. He's been here for a while, but he probably deserves to go and start somewhere. He's still in a mid-table / lower, lower to mid-table team in the Serie A. He can start in a 3 at the back, not in a 2, but in a 3 at the back, definitely he still can start. So he deserves to go out and somewhere and play, be a starter till the end of his career. But respect for what they've offered to us over the years. Yeah, Cagliari keeper deserves credit for his debut. Good point, Daniel. Inter and Real Madrid are the super informed sides in Europe. Yeah, Tram, you're a Real Madrid fan, so best of all, El Clasico yesterday. We saw, I was maybe at the beginning of the season, I thought this could be, a little bit of a dipping season for Real Madrid, but Zidane and the team have really turned it around now. And yeah, we're into Real Madrid. I think Inter have the highest scoring average in the whole of Europe, like higher than Man City and Real Madrid this season. So yeah, definitely in form. I don't know any other team who's done 11 wins in a row in the rest of Europe. Lozano with the yellow, yes, nice nudges for that news. That guy is a nuisance. I don't really particularly rate him personally, but I have to admit that now Gattuso's really turned him around, Lozano, this season, and that's going to be a big miss for Napoli, even though he's been out for a few weeks already. So he's only recently come back. So unfortunate for him to get injured once again. But that's good news for the Napoli match next week. Juve won. Napoli and Lazio did the job as well. Yeah, that's going to be the thing at the end. Now it's going to be so tight for that top four. This top four race, it might be the best top four race in the Serie A for a long, long time. There's literally 7 teams fighting out. Roma are a little bit further away now, but they're still there. They still can make it happen. So that's going to be very entertaining to watch to the end of the season. Sanchez 5, yeah, as I said, yeah, I agree. I'll probably give him a 5.5, but yeah, he was definitely my flop of the match. Sanchez should play only as a number 10. Yeah, we've talked about that in the past. When we're chasing and we put that 3-4-1-2 when Sanchez is behind Lautaro and Lukaku, we're so dangerous. But in Conte's system, it can't really. There's no real room for a place. Even when we played the 3-4-1-2 from the beginning, Sanchez never started in that position because there's just too much attacking power, and we're probably exposing ourselves too much. But Conte always says he's willing to do that in the match. But yeah, I think ideally that's his position now. He's not a second striker or a striker anymore, or a winger as he was, young when he was a bit younger. He's definitely more of a number 10 now, Sanchez. But the number 10 position is really, a dying position in modern football. So there's not many teams that play with that position. So it's going to be difficult for Sanchez to find, even when he leaves Inter, to find a team that really fits his style of play now. Victor is confident to get the best defense after conceding 5 in the first 2 matches of the season. Also conceded 6 in 3 matches of 2021. Inter only conceded 4 in the last 13. Never conceded more than 1 a match. Yeah, I'm confident as well, Victor, especially the way that we're playing now, so balanced, so, really, Handanovic really has not had much to do in the last few matches, against Sassuolo. I don't really remember any particular amazing saves he had to do. Today he had nothing to do. Bologna, maybe he was a little bit more tested, but again, there wasn't many shots from Bologna in that match. And yeah, I'm expecting a lot of clean sheets until the end of the season. So we're going to be neck and neck with that Juventus defense stat. But yeah, like you, I'm confident, man. 9 goal to Serie B. Bye Ninja. Yeah, it's funny how the football world works, isn't it? He was here thinking that maybe he could be a final first trophy, and then we don't really know what happened there. Conte was asked about it in the press conference yesterday about Nainggolan, and he was pretty quick to shut it down. He just said, yeah, we made choices. It seems like it was, Nainggolan wasn't happy about getting any minutes. He wants to be a starter, and then really and truly, I think he just wants to be at Cagliari. That's his, his place in Italy. Is like his home in Italy. That's where his wife is from and his family lives. And yeah, if he's happy there, if he's willing to cut his wages, which is the most important thing, if Cagliari want to keep him, if they go down. But it's difficult to see. I want Cagliari to stay up just because they can still afford Nainggolan if they stay up. Because if they go down, even if Nainggolan halves his wages, they won't be able to afford it, because this guy is on 4.5 million a year. He's on the hefty wages net. So he needs to go real down low if Cagliari going to go to Serie B if they can afford it. Nainggolan, yeah, he stopped that counterattack. Alcoholic Indonesian man, this guy took a yellow for that. But he had to do what he had to do, but Lukaku counter looked very dangerous, didn't it? Moving forward, I think where Bastoni needs to prove is in the air, lose numerous aerial battles. Yeah, but Kelvin, today is a difficult match. Pavoletti is one of the best players in Italy for aerial battles. I saw, De Vrij losing a few as well. You're not going to beat Pavoletti much in the air. João Pedro is decent as well, even though he's more of a second striker. He's pretty, strong. Yeah, definitely is an area where he can improve, but it wasn't any particular bad, losses I saw from Bastoni. But yeah, there's definitely a room for improvement for him there. Cagliari relegated, Cragno incoming. Yes, as I said, there's so many players they're gonna be outgoing from that Cagliari team. It's really interesting to see who goes where. And relating to Inter, Cragno is definitely one to keep an eye on, but it looks like Handanovic might get another renewal. There's rumors that he's going to be offered an extra extension to stay one more year. So it looks like there's going to be one more year of Handanovic as our starter, guys. And honestly, there's not much choice out there at the moment in terms of financially. We can't really do much. So we might be forced to continue with Handanovic just for financial reasons. But Cragno is definitely one to keep an eye on. Yeah, Akash says everyone plays like a prime Neuer against Inter, just a standard. Darmian ready to take over the role as Mr. Clutch with the D'Ambrosio. Yeah, man. Imagine if D'Ambrosio teaches him those far post runs. That's the rest in peace for the rest of Serie A. Is it true Gagliardini just fired his agent? No, they were talking about Brozovic doing the same as Skriniar and maybe Lautaro, those two who fired their agent to negotiate the contract themselves. No, not Gagliardini. There's no talk of Gagliardini getting a new contract. Hopefully not. Darmian, unofficial Capitano if Lord Gags won't take the job. What do you reckon about next European season? Mattia says, oh, man, let's just focus on today on this. Let's get a Scudetto first, Mattia, man. Let's focus on the now. We'll think about next year when, when we get a full preseason, and let's see what we can actually do in the transfer market. But I think Conte knows now what this team needs in Europe. He's learned from his mistakes. The players have learned from their mistakes. We definitely can't play the way that we're playing now in Europe, conceding. Oh, no, like today, because obviously Cagliari just gave us the play, but you do need a little bit of extra in Europe to break down teams. But we'll get to that next year, man. Let's just focus on getting this Serie A, this Scudetto for now. Ninja will win Serie B. Gagliardini, CD should never play. Yeah, this was. I was thinking about this when they both came on. This is like the midfield that we played like in 2017. Brozovic, Gagliardini, Vecino. This is Spalletti era, and then it just makes you think like the improvement of this team. That those two now, and the substitutes coming on, the depth of this team. It makes you appreciate how far we've come with this squad. Honestly, Alessandro asks, yeah, Nandez, man. I've been saying. Not just this season, in general, when Cagliari signed him, I watched this documentary on Boca Juniors on Netflix. I think it's called Boca Confidential. It's quite good. I recommend it if you want to get insight into Boca Juniors team. And Nandez was like clearly the star player of Boca Juniors. He's just like, all action midfielder. Unfortunately now he's being shunned out to be a left wing back position, which is definitely not his position. But yeah, he's definitely similar to Barella, like in terms of style of play. He's a combative midfielder, but he's got technical ability as well. He's got that Uruguayan, South American, grinta. Yeah, he definitely could be a great Barella sub, and I think Conte would love him as well. He's a proper Conte type of player. Definitely one to look out for. Yeah, Snudge just said he's definitely take Nandez. Gallium seems starting to through Pazza Inter. Yeah, never again. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. Keep in mind that winning the league means an easy group. Yeah, we're in pot one, as Ahmed said. So hopefully, finally, after 3 years of being in the group of death, we actually get a decent group. Hey, yo, we got Nick Lato in the house who used to join me for live streams in the past, but now he's too busy for us. He's a working man. He sold his soul to the corporate world. Nah, I'm joking, bro. If you want to come on, I've left the link. If you scroll right to the top, anyone who wants to join the live stream, you can join. If anyone is down. Yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning, Snudges, man. If he might actually be the low-key signing of the season. Giovanni Simeone fell off. I never really rated him. I just always thought he was a Grinta merchant, and obviously the name Simeone kind of helped him through his career. He's definitely a Serie A level player, but like mid-table, a Fiorentina a few years ago, he was balling out. He's that level of player. But honestly, I've never really particularly rated him. He wouldn't be bad as like a substitute, in our team. He's definitely better than Pinamonti. But yeah, he's not really got much apart from his grinta. He's a bit like he's like a Lautaro, but without the same technical ability really. Upgrade from Gags, Vecino, and the leeching coach to Saeed, man. I know this is you. Respect Spalletti. You need to respect Spalletti. We're here. A big reason why we're here is also due to Spalletti, man. The Champions League still scares me a lot. Yeah, no, man, that's the thing. In Champions League, always you need that extra step. But let's not be scared right now. Let's be scared when we get the group next year. Been saying all year Darmian should start. Yeah, he's just saying that to annoy me. But with truth, we know that Perisic is the starting left wing back this season. Darmian is DDA 2.0. Yeah, he might actually be. D'Ambrosio just needs to teach him how to do those far post runs, and it's sorted. Is there any chance we can afford both De Paul and Gosens this summer? Brother, no. I'm struggling to think even one of them. It's going to be hard to afford one of them. I don't want to sell dreams to anyone here. Well, definitely we're not going to get both of those guys. That's minimum going to cost you 70 million. De Paul's Udinese want at least 30, 35 million. And Atalanta definitely going to want 30, 40 million for Gosens. So no, bro, I'm sorry. I know those would be the ideal signings for this team, but no. But yeah, let's get on to player ratings, guys. Keep getting distracted by your comments. So we did Handanovic 6, Skriniar. I think I'll give him a 6 as well. To be honest, I think he was a little bit shakier compared to the other two. Just had a few stray passes today, so I'm giving Skriniar a 6. De Vrij and Bastoni, as I said, probably could have been man of the match, either of them. Definitely De Vrij more than Bastoni. I'll give them both a 6.5, I think. 6.5 for both of those. I think that's fair. Maybe De Vrij even 7, because yeah, he was really good. Yeah, as you guys are saying, great depth. Yeah, I'll answer these questions afterwards. And then Ashley Young, yeah, he had a dip today. I didn't want him to start, to be honest. I wanted, Darmian to get a start on the left wing back position, and then Hakimi. But Hakimi today, as we said, it's fine in this team. If you make a mistake, if Conte sees you dropping form, I'm happy that, you drop someone, you give him like a message, like, your place isn't guaranteed in this team. We've got other hungry guys behind you. And yeah, it showed him, and Hakimi came on with hunger. But yeah, Ashley Young today, starting 3 matches in a row, he's 35. He's not going to be balling out every week, so I'll give him a 5.5. Yeah, Nick gives De Vrij a 7 as well. On the other side, Darmian, as I said, my man of the match, I'll just have to give him a 7.5. The goal, yeah, the performance wasn't that great, but just the goal, just the importance of that goal, getting the 11 wins in a row. Matty Darmzz, 7.5, man of the match for me. Let's move on to the midfielders, guys. What did you make of that? The midget midfield, Sensi, Eriksson, Brozovic, the technical midfield. Let's start off with Sensi. Let's spread some Sensi propaganda. I know Saeed wants me to spread some Sensi propaganda. I thought he was quite good. Surprise start. I thought Gagliardini, Thanos in this formation, he always starts if Barella or someone's injured. And yeah, Sensi started off at the right centre mid position. And then, moved to the left centre mid position in the second half. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. But yeah, I thought he was quite good. I'll give Sensi a 6 out of 10. You could see there was a bit of rustiness in there, and he had a couple of nice shots as well. But I expect a lot more from Sensi in terms of chance creation and play. But hopefully this is the start of, Conte starting to trust him again, because we've seen he's been fit for a while, but just Conte hasn't quite rightly trusted him physically, and he hasn't got injured. Most importantly, we didn't see no ambulance being called on, no stretcher needed, and he replaced Barella. I didn't miss Barella today, even though this is the first time we've really seen interplay without Barella. But I didn't really miss him today. What do you guys think of Sensi? Give me your ratings for Sensi, guys. Yeah, Saeed, loving the Sensi love. Sensi just always progresses the ball. Yeah, you see, he always looks forward. That's the thing with Sensi. You know, sometimes he might just keep the ball, but unlike our other midfielders, even Barella, sometimes he looks for little more riskier passes in between the lines. He's just got that ability and that shooting ability from range. And yeah, he's just so enjoyable to watch. He's definitely one of my favorite Inter players of the last few years. Just such a shame that he's just can't stay fit. King Darian says 6 as well, needs more games. Yeah, man, you just see he's not really integrated with the team yet. Sensi quite good today. Now Biggie, so happy for Sensi. Hope he plays again in the final rush. Yeah, Alessandro 6.5. Okay, everyone's going for 6.5 for Sensi. I like it. Yeah, go on then. Let's give him a 6.5 then. Let's just give him the extra 0.5, just the extra little bit of Sensi love. What about Brozovic? You know, he missed the match last week. I think he looked fresh today. I'll give him a 6.5 as well. To be honest, controlled the play pretty well. I think I'm happy with Brozovic's performance. Tried a few balls in behind the defense as well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with Brozovic. We got Saeed saying 6 is probably fair. Always looking for the crucial pass. Isn't afraid of challenging and winning going forward. Yeah, I guess this is relating to Sensi. Yeah. And then who else was there? Of course, Eriksen. He's definitely, you know, if you've watched Eriksen, the thing is, if you've watched Eriksen in the Premier League, you know he can offer more. Like, I'm fine with what he's offering now. You know, he's, you know, offers that technicality, that ability in midfield. I always rather have Eriksen over, you know, Vecino, Gagliardini, or anyone else. You know, I want Eriksen to be the starting midfielder at Inter, but we just need like a little bit more from Eriksen. He tried today, you know, we have to give it to Vicario. He did stop his few shots from outside the box, but similar to Sensi, you know, you expect a little bit more from a level, you know, he used to be a world-class player at Eriksen, at Spurs, Eriksen, so he hasn't really shown that into yet, in my opinion anyway. You know, you can't finish the season on 0 goals and 0 assists, but Cagliari were like all the way back defending, so there wasn't much. Yeah, Eriksen and Brozovic both 6.5 sounds about right. Yeah. Venancio says partita difficile. It was a difficult match because everyone was defending for Cagliari. Yeah, so it wasn't the best match for Sensi and Eriksen really, but very very specific here from Kemi 6.2. Yeah, Erik's 6.5. Had the urge to shoot from distance, with something our midfielders don't do enough of. Yeah, okay, let's give Eriksen a 6.5. I want to give Eriksen a 6 just because I want Eriksen to give us a little bit more. I just, you know, I really like Eriksen as a player, and I'm not seeing, you know, the Eriksen that I used to see. I suppose obviously the system is completely different. It's not really suited to Eriksen, but I want to see a little bit more from Eriksen. You know, like it's okay that now he's, you know, as a starter. I'm so happy for him, but I expect more from Eriksen. King Darian, a little bit harsher. 5.5 for Eriksen, wasn't his day. Yeah, but he did have those couple of shots, so you have to give him some credit where it's due. And then up front, as you said, Sanchez, Alexis was probably a 5 or a 5.5. Flop of the match for me. What about Lukaku, guys? What are we giving Lukaku? I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. Not an easy match, as we said. You know, they were defending deep, not much space in behind. That one time he did have space to run into. Nainggolan chucked him, you know, tackled him from behind. Yeah, I'll probably give him a 6 out of 10. But he was heavily involved in that Hakimi assist to Darmian. You know, great back to goal play, hold up play. Yeah, brainless as per usual. A bit harsh. Lexi's is way better. Yeah, I think it's just the hierarchy is like that for a reason. That's why Conte always starts Lautaro, even when Lautaro is off form. I think Sanchez just provides that chaos when he brings on as a substitute. But when he starts, you know, he's had good performances this season. Let's not forget as a starter, you know, especially that Sassuolo, the 3-0 win against Sassuolo at the beginning of the season. You know, there has been good performances from Sanchez as a starter. But yeah, I think Lautaro is definitely, this is the reason why Lautaro is the starter. Nick with another very specific of 5.75. I think he deserves a 6 just for that pre-assist to Hakimi. Conte's formation that is really up to play. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not seeing, it's not really suited to him. But when you've watched Eriksen for many years, you just know, he doesn't take on the man anymore, or like, try riskier passes. He's very safe, which obviously is Paul Conte's instructions probably as well. But if you know Eriksen, you know that he can offer more. Pinamonti minutes needed, yeah. He said, actually, Conte said in the post-match that he was going to put Pinamonti on if we didn't score. 5.5 for Alexis, 6.5 for Lukaku, extra 0.5 for the assist. Yeah, makes sense. I agree with that. And then the substitutes, what did you guys make? We said Gagliardini was a disaster class, came on, got megged, not very good. Nick, I'm gonna post that nutmeg from Zappa on Gagliardini. You better, I want you to see that. Yeah, can't really rate those guys because they didn't really get that many minutes. Vecino and Gagliardini, they didn't really get to do much. But Hakimi, as we said, Hakimi was the the catalyst. Came on with the right energy. You could see that he was hungry to prove Conte wrong, or to turn around his form. So yeah, Hakimi, definitely well done to him for coming on with the right energy. Speak, I'm in trouble. Yeah, let's those are the player ratings for today, guys. Let's have a quick talk about maybe the Napoli. Yeah, maybe we might see the midfield that we had at the beginning of the last season. That midfield that gave us so much joy at the start of last season, where we looked like, that's probably when Inter played the best football on the Conte. At some points, we really played some football that you'd see, prime Barcelona or Spain type of football with when those three were playing. So honestly, yeah, I can see Sensi starting to climb up the ranks. If he stays fit, I could see that happening. I would like to. I've been saying I want to see that midfield at least one more time. Like, we haven't got to see that midfield since last season. I want to see that midfield at least one more time, man. Hopefully we get to see that midfield. I'm just waiting for Gag's masterclass game, just one. Yeah, I mean, he bowled out against Sassuolo that one match in the start of the season. That's probably as much as he's going to give you. Yeah, I think if we secure the Scudetto, I think Conte will give time to those kind of guys, Pinamonti, Radu, give him a little bit of a showcase, for other teams who may want to buy them. Guys like D'Ambrosio haven't got much playing time, Vecino, Vidal, these kind of guys, they probably get more playing time towards the end of the season. I think since he won't be able to go back-to-back games, especially after minutes of Italy. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, he's well rested in terms of the whole season. He's not really had much to do. Thank God for the W, lunchtime kickoff against Cagliari, Duncan and Nangolan as the old Inter. Yeah, this is like bootleg, B-Tech Inter. They were so many Inter. Godin as well. Zappa is an old Inter youth player, so it literally was like playing some old Inter players. Gag's masterclass last match was the Udinese. There's nothing to play for. Yeah, he's probably gonna score a hat trick or something. This guy, just never know what you can expect from that guy. Lukaku need Lautaro today. Yeah, that Sanchez Lukaku link up, I've always said, is not particularly my favorite, but you have to give Sanchez some minutes as well, man. You can't keep that guy just on the bench all the time. He's just raring to go. Hopefully Conte realizes that when he plays Gallia, we've seen instead of Sensi, Eriksen, we don't improve defensively. Yeah, I mean, you can see now, defensively, Sensi and Eriksen, they put in tackles now. You can't say, and especially, today was quite a physical midfield against the Inter, Duncan and Nangolan, but other midfield, against the Napoli midfield, the likes of Fabian Ruiz or, Diego Demme, Zielinski, you can play Sensi, Barella, those kind of midfielders, Eriksen. You're not going to get out muscled by those kind of midfields. So hopefully, yeah, Conte sees that, you don't need these kind of workhorses all the time. Cagliari did set up well, yeah, Palm. They made the job very hard. Vicario did a good job, but yeah, that's why I'm not too harsh on, the midfielders, because there wasn't much space, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. Imagine that Sensi, Barella, Brozovic from last season with that form accompanied. Yeah, now we've got the difference. It's not Kandreva or Biraghi or Azamor on the left hand side. We've got Perisic and Hakimi. We'll see if Perisic is still in good form when he comes back. He's been out for a couple of matches now, so it'll probably take him a little bit of time to get into form. People forget how mediocre Vecino is. Didn't even see touch the ball. Yeah, but Gagliardini didn't really much touch the ball, and he got nutmegged. So they're both pretty mediocre players. Yeah, we said there's the start of the stream, man. That squad should not be anywhere near relegation. They should be comfortably mid-table. It's absolutely, it's completely Di Francesco's fault, but also their management for getting Di Francesco first and then extending his contract when things weren't going well. Inter now have 4 players with at least 5 goals and assists in Serie A. No other team has more. Oh, interesting stat. I didn't know about that. Yeah, thank you, Play Unlimited. Prediction for the Napoli match. Yeah, I think that might be the one where our streak ends, to be honest. It has to end at some point. We're on 11 now. I think we might get a draw. We'll have to see what the predicted lineups are first, but I reckon that will be the end of our streak. I think Napoli are in decent form, apart from the Juve lost in the previous match, but I think that one might be the one where we get a draw, to be honest. Let me pull up this one tweet actually before we end, guys, because everyone's talking about Razor is talking about this record that we broke. Opta Paolo tweeting out, Inter are the first side to have won each of the first 11 Serie A games played in the second half of a season, overtaking the record of AC Milan, which is 10 in the 1989-1990 season. Relentless. So yeah, this team really is, man, like a record-breaking winning machine. Like, it's just ruthless, efficient. It just gets the job done. Nothing too special. And this is all Antonio Conte. This is why he's paid 12 million net a year, and next year 13.5 million net. This is why he gets all that money. This is why I've always been on the Antonio Conte train, even when a lot of the fan base was Antonio Conte out after the Champions League exit. I had faith in this project. I have faith in this guy, that he was going to take us to this promised land that we've been waiting for 11 years. And a few of you guys, someone asked earlier, the upload is, who would you rather miss top 4 if you had to pick Juve or Milan? Definitely Juve, bro, because that would be such a massive blow to them, like financially. They would have to do something, Ronaldo, those kind of wages, they would have to do something. They would have to completely rebuild. Staying in the Champions League still gives them that income, but we've seen the effect that dropping out of the Champions League can do to your finances, especially Juve, already in a very precarious condition. I would definitely rather see Juve drop out and have like a few years of Juve having some sort of rebuild, or being out of title contention. That would be ideal for me. There's one more tweet I wanted to share with you guys before going off, or an image really, which was Conte kissing Hakimi when he came on. Look at that show of love, and he said in his post match, look at this guy. He ran to the players when we scored the goal. Like, he was celebrating with the players. Look at him. You can't tell me this guy is not Interista now. Look at him. This guy is fully Interista now. Putting a middle finger up to Agnelli, and there was one. Yeah, there's the quote where he was talking about kissing Hakimi. I'll translate it for you guys. I believe the boy should be rewarded, even with a kiss, as I did with Hakimi. I'm a bit of an older brother to them, ready to throw myself into the fire for them, and they know it. I often kiss them in the forehead. You have to specify there, not just on the mouth. But yeah, this is what Conte does. He builds such a team spirit. Like, he's like one of the guys in there. The way he was celebrating, as he said, he's like an older brother, not like a dad. And this is what he does. He builds a team. He builds this chemistry that we've not had for years. In the past, it was the whole Icardi, Perisic, Handanovic, whatever drama was going on. It never felt like this team was gelling that well together. But this team is just absolute. You can see they really like each other. Conte about to break Mancini's all-time record of Serie 17 wins. Woohoo! Imagine if we actually did that. That would be absolutely crazy. Was better we broke AC Milan's record. Yeah, that's always nice, breaking our cousin's record. Good press conferences by Conte. He loves the team. Yeah, I think I just talked about that. It won't end with Napoli. Our streak will continue. Okay, Gerard, I believe you if you're positive. I just feel like at some point it will have to end. Would be typical Inter to beat Napoli and drop points versus Spezia. Yeah, But this is not typical Inter, guys. This is not typical Inter anymore. This is not Pazza Inter anymore. You have to give credit where Conte would due. You have to give credit where it's due to Conte when he came, no more Pazza Inter. And yeah, he's actually made that true. Yeah, if they drop out the top four, it definitely will be kind of a possible banter era. But if they stay in the top four, it'll be fine. Because the actual money difference is not that much money difference from winning Scudetto and being in top four. I think between second place and first place is only like 3 or 4 million. I think difference is really that not that much more difference. The difference comes in the Champions League if you pot one and you progress to the next stages and things like that. That's where the difference comes in the prize money. But yeah, guys, that was an enjoyable. Once again, thank you guys for joining me as always, talking through these player ratings, and I always enjoy getting your views in. Loving the Matty Darmzz love from everyone, loving the Stefano Sensi love from everyone, loving the Gagliardini slander, and yeah, obviously I'll see you guys for the Napoli preview. That one should be a good one, a big match. I want to see how Inter perform in a big match. It's been a while since we played a big team. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you left a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel, if you want to support the channel. And yeah, guys, I'm signing out there. Always, guys, always Forza Inter. Let's get this Scudetto. Let's get these 12 wins in a row. Let's laugh at the Juventus tears, the Milanisti tears, ugly football, boring football, whatever. W's on W's. Ciao, ragazzi.